everyone, welcome back to lesson 3 of Piano Lessons with Kristi. I'm Kristi. I hope that you have all watched lessons 1 and 2. We went over some pretty important building blocks for playing the piano, how to find some different notes on the actual piano itself, and then how to read those same notes when you're reading music. So this week we're going to build on that, and I'm going to show you some chords, major and minor chords. And I'll also be introducing a little bit more music theory to help you understand what makes a major and a minor chord. So we'll start by briefly covering what I've already gone over in lessons 1 and 2, and we'll move on into chords today. Then you can start impressing some of your friends. Okay, let's dive in. Quick little review. First, we started by locating middle C in the center of your piano, probably near the logo, to the left of the 2 black keys. These are referred to as sharps and flats when you're actually playing them in the piano. Middle C, C, D, E, F, G, most important for you to learn, corresponds with the notes that we learned on the staff. Playing C, D, E, F, G in your right hand, that's the top, and C, D, E, F, G in your left hand, that's on the bottom. Now if we go back from middle C and jump down 1 octave to find the C lower, you see that there are the 2 black notes. Left of that is C, C, D, E, F, G. That corresponds with the notes on the staff. Now let's say that you want to play a scale. With your right hand, starting at middle C, you can play C major scale with the fingers going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And again, the notes you're playing are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. If we skip down an octave where your left hand would play, starting with C, the fingers that you're using, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And those notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. And if you get really comfortable, you're going to want to play both of those at the same time. Here's what that would look like. Now that you are familiar with, maybe not totally memorizing, but at least exposed to all of those concepts, we are going to start talking about chords. Now, a major chord is something you'll hear a lot in music. So I'm going to start by teaching you a C chord, C major chord, but you don't really have to say that unless you want to specify. So a C chord is built on the note C. And it's very simple since there are no flats or sharps. We simply skip notes in between and play C, E, and G. You don't have to keep your fingers up. In fact, it's better to relax them. All at the same time. C, E, and G. I'm a little bit double jointed. So sometimes my pinky will do that. Try not to let your pinky do that. You can play it in any rhythm that you want. That is a C major chord. C, E, and G. So once you get comfortable doing that, you can start playing what's called an arpeggio, which is basically a chord broken out. This is an example of an arpeggio. So let's switch over to the left hand. You would start an octave lower, finding this C. And here we're going to do the same exact thing, C, E, and G. You can hold it for a long time if you want to. You can also play something called staccato, which I haven't mentioned before, but it's basically when you play the notes and let go quickly to kind of create this sharp, maybe punchy would be a better way, jumpy kind of way of playing. You don't actually have to bring your hand up off the keys, but just enough so that the key itself stops reverberating. That's a staccato, C major chord. And again, you can play arpeggios, the same manner we did with the right hand. Kind of fun. So now we're going to look back at the sheet music after I kind of show you what's going on here and explain music theory a little bit. So for a major chord, what's actually happening is you're going 1 half step, 2 half steps, which is a whole step, 3 half steps, 4 half steps, and then you're going to go 3 more from E to G. 1, 2, 3. So 4 half steps, 2 whole steps, and 3 half steps. And it's the same thing in the left hand. Let's take a look at what that looks like in sheet music. Here again is the treble clef and the bass clef. This shows you the 3 notes that you're playing in either hand when you're playing chords, the right hand being the top line and the left hand being the bottom line. You can see middle C has that line drawn through it. Then we have E and G, and then the left hand, you can see next to it I've written C, E, and G, building from bottom to top. One thing that's interesting here is hopefully you've noticed that the lines and the spaces don't have anything to do with whether the note on the piano is white or black. So coming back to the piano, now I'm going to teach you what a minor chord looks like. There are 2 different versions of minor when you're playing something. One is called relative minor and one is called parallel minor. Now hopefully you remember in the first week's lesson we played C major, and at the same time I taught you A minor because it's all the same white notes. These are actually referred to as relative minors because they use the same keys. So I didn't shift and play any black notes in there anywhere. That makes it a relative minor. Here today, I'm going to start by teaching you a parallel minor. So parallel, instead of starting down here, which by the way, this is A minor, which is the relative minor to C major. Instead, we start with C and we shift our middle note. So now you're playing your first black key, and if you recall, this is E, so this is E flat. Anytime you're expecting a note here and you go down, you refer to it as flat. If instead I was expecting to hear a D and I went up, it would be D sharp. But that's not what's happening here. We're expecting E, go down to E flat. That's why it's referred to that way. So this is the parallel minor to C major. Happy, sad, pretty much. Now the theory behind this, you remember how we went 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 steps, 1, 2, 3? For a minor chord, parallel minor chord, we flip-flop those. So we're going to go 3 and then 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's exactly what's happening here. And with your left hand, it's the same thing. major, minor. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the difference is you have a natural E and an E flat. Now experiment with playing both of these at the same time with both hands. Go really, really slow. Don't push yourself until you get comfortable, and then you can go faster. Here's what that would look like. Keep following along. We'll continue building on this next week, and I wish you happy practicing. See you then.